And new at noon out of Chicopee, a man has been arrested after an attempted carjacking. Yesterday at around midnight, police responding to 1031 Chicopee Street, that's where the Gulf Station is. This reports of an attempted carjacking. The first arriving officer there was able to locate the parties, took that suspect into custody while other officers were investigating the incident. The suspect, 19-year-old Alexander Vega from Holyoke, previously inside the store and attempted to start an altercation with a male that was also inside the store. Vega then took some items off the counter and left the store. Once he was outside, Vega attempted to gain entry into an occupied motor vehicle. The occupants of that vehicle began to scream for help. He's now facing a number of charges, including armed carjacking and shoplifting by aspiration.